Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA video, we're going to be looking at every single Grand Theft Auto 6 character that we know so far. So in order to do this, we're going to be looking at leaks, we're going to be looking at resume posts that actors and actresses have made that suggest they are working on GTA 6. Now, there have been some incredibly crazy character rumors for Grand Theft Auto 6. I remember probably the most prominent one for me was that Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes were going to be the stars of the game. And while that would be awesome, don't get me wrong, because Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes are amazing actresses and actors, I just didn't see it being very likely, and the claim didn't really have any proof. I don't think Ryan Gosling or Eva Mendes has come out and said, we are doing this, even if they could. So there have been some crazy rumors like that. So we're not going to be talking about stuff like that. Again, we're going to be diving into resumes and posts made by actors and actresses that suggest they are working on or have been a part of Grand Theft Auto 6. So you might be wondering, isn't it a little bit too early to figure out who some of the characters are for Grand Theft Auto 6? And the answer to that is no. If we go back to Rockstar's last game, Red Dead Redemption 2, Roger Clark, who plays Arthur Morgan, said that he started working on Red Dead Redemption 2 on August 2013. His exact quote was, "My first day on the project was in August of 2013. With the context of this particular installment, I was the first to come on. Apart from Rob Wiedoff and Ben Byron Davis, who worked on the previous chapters. Those are the voice actors and motion capture artists for John Marston and Dutch Vanderlyn. And we know Red Dead Redemption 2 came out in October 2018. So he basically started 5 years before the game came out. So by this point in time, there's definitely a ton of people that have already started working on Grand Theft Auto 6. So to no one's surprise, it looks like Rockstar begins with the protagonist or the main characters and then branches out to the more minor characters. So for this, we've been able to dial in on 3 people so far that have at least announced that they've worked on Grand Theft Auto 6. And the first comes from actor Tim Neff. Now, Tim Neff ended up gaining a lot of traction back in 2017 when his resume listed that he worked on Red Dead Redemption 2 and Grand Theft Auto 6. And even before that, we started to see a handful of interesting Instagram posts where he would take photos of the Rockstar Games San Diego studios. In fact, some of his descriptions were, "Here we go again to another good couple of days," with a video game controller emoji. And again, saying today was just one of those days, ... And those were all in 2016 and 2017, which would have made sense. That would have fit perfectly with the timeline of Red Dead Redemption 2 and potentially even Grand Theft Auto 6. So on his resume, it says that he did motion capture for Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA 6, and the company was Rockstar for both. Now, what's interesting is when people started to catch on to this, a lot of people started asking Tim Neff on his social medias, like, "Are you in Red Dead Redemption 2? What character are you? Are you in GTA 6? What character are you for that?" And back then, Tim Neff and his agency actually denied being in both games. They basically said it was a mistake. Tim really isn't in Red Dead Redemption 2. He's not in GTA 6. We don't know how it got there. So that was kind of suspicious because, if you didn't work on those projects, why would you put that on your official resume? But nonetheless, we sort of waited. And when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, sure enough, look who you can find in the credits, Tim Neff. It looks like he actually did some stunt work. I don't know if he's a character per se, but he definitely did some motion capture work doing stunts. So maybe he was a stunt double, maybe he did some of the action scenes. That's what I think would be the most likely situation here. So it looks like that excuse told by him and his agency that he really didn't work on RDR2 and GTA 6 was just a lie to save face. Maybe someone like Rockstar, Take-Two Interactive, reached out to him and said, "Hey, dude, you can't really announce that you're working on this. You've got to come up with some story that makes it look like that's not the case." So Who knows what that conversation was, but Tim Neff is in Red Dead Redemption 2, and I think it is a strong possibility that he is in Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, whether that's one of the main character roles, whether that's a minor character, or whether that's just doing stunts like he did in Red Dead Redemption 2, I think we'll have to wait, obviously, until more official information comes out from Rockstar, or obviously GTA 6 arrives and we can see what his role was in the credits. So that is character number 1 today. Character number 2 today is Jorge Canseco. So earlier this year, Jorge Canseco started to gain a lot of attention when someone actually found his resume. And his resume online suggested that he has done a handful of television roles and film and video game roles. And one of the roles that was actually listed under film, although I'm sure he probably doesn't just have a section for video games, is Grand Theft Auto 6. And you can see in parentheses it says CGI, and it looks like it was done in 2018. And his role is the Mexican, and it is, in quotes, featured by Rockstar Games. Okay, so that is really interesting. The first is, I'm not sure what like the CGI aspect of it is. I don't know if that just means they did like a, digital capture of him, or that he was just doing motion capture work. We know it was done in 2018. What's also interesting is they apparently gave him an official role, the Mexican. Now, at this point in time, I think it's very unlikely that, number one, Rockstar has all the names locked down, and number two, they could even change. Just like what we saw in Grand Theft Auto 5, a lot of the initial names that we saw in the casting call when it was revealed turned out to be different. Like, Michael's original name was Albert. That's obviously way different than Michael. There was a ton of other names that ended up getting changed. So maybe instead of doing that, Rockstar just giving more generic titles, like in this case, the Mexican. And we'll even see in a little bit that might be a consistent theme that Rockstar's got going on here. Now, let's say his character really is the Mexican. I don't know if that can point us in a direction of where the game is going to take place. The only thing that I know is in GTA 5, Michael called Martin Madrazo the Mexican. So maybe this features a younger Martin Madrazo if this were to take place, let's just say like in 1980s Vice City. That'd be pretty cool. That's just kind of my speculation, but that is our second character today. Now, before we move on to our third, it is interesting that Jorge Canseco did actually respond to someone saying he was in GTA 6. A user on Twitter, Lynn LFC, said, "Nobody will read this, but you heard it here first. Jorge Canseco is in Grand Theft Auto 6. And he said, "I can neither confirm nor deny this, but I did read your tweet," with a winking-faced emoji. That's kind of an interesting response. You would think if he was in the game and someone found out about this, he wouldn't play it so casually. I don't know. Maybe he was doing that on purpose. Maybe he's not in the game. Maybe he's tweeting literally what he's thinking, that he read it but can't confirm or deny. Either way, something interesting to think about. Jorge Canseco is our second character. Now, our third character is one I think we know the least about, and this is Roger Grunwald. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly. So earlier in the year, Roger Grunwald on his resume page listed under video games that he is an untitled motion capture project, which is currently still in production, and his role is the German psychiatrist, and he is a co-star. Now, it says Take-Two Productions now, but earlier, and I wish I had a screenshot of this, it said Rockstar Games. So it looks like this could be another character in GTA 6, and it still says it's in production, so I would imagine that means he's still doing, voiceover work, motion capture work, and his role is the German psychiatrist. That's certainly pretty interesting. So far we have an action hero, Tim Neff. We have Jorge Canseco playing the Mexican, and we've got Roger Grunwald playing the German psychiatrist. Now, in case you guys are wondering who a psychiatrist is, a psychiatrist is a physician who specializes in psychiatry, which is a branch of medicine devoted to the diagnosis, prevention, study, and treatment of mental disorders. So it sounds like an interesting character, that's for sure, with a German twist, or at least a German background. So those are the three characters we know about so far: Tim Neff, Jorge Consejo, and then Roger Grunwald. Now, there's also been a lot of other leaks and reports suggesting a handful of various characters are going to be featured in the game. However, probably the most prominent leak is the Project Americas report. And in the Project Americas report, one of the things, or one of the main highlights they talked about there, is that there was going to be a female lead character. Now, we don't know if it's going to be like Grand Theft Auto 5, where you've got 3 equal protagonists and you switch between them both, or if just a female is going to be a huge part of the main story. Something we kind of didn't see in GTA 5, since that was all centered around Michael, Trevor, and Franklin. So other than the 3 guys we talked about today, it looks like there is going to be a huge female role in GTA 6, if indeed that leak turns out to be true. And like I said, there's a handful of other leaks and reports out there suggesting a ton of things revolving the characters. Today, I tried to look at the most probable and most likely. And as always, if we do get any more reports or more resumes are found suggesting someone has worked on Grand Theft Auto 6 or looks to be involved, some way, shape, or form, I'll definitely be sure to keep you guys updated. But that is everything we know so far and all the characters that currently look to be working on GTA 6. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. What characters would you like to see appear in GTA 6, and what do you think of the 3 or 4 that we looked into today? I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would of course be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and Red Dead Redemption videos that I'm doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.